My name is Teresa Albor. I'm a artist who is really interested in process-based work or research-based work where the experience is the piece. I also do a lot of work where I engage with other people who aren't identified as artists. I came across this drug called naloxone, which is an antidote to heroin overdose, and how it can kind of bring people back to life. And this idea of bringing someone back to life is really fascinating to me. I knew Dr. Sally Marlowe, and I spoke to her about this. And lo and behold, this concept of looking at heroin use or opiate use and its intersection with unconditional love just seemed like the right moment, the right thing to focus on.
And I think what was interesting about that for us in the addictions department, as I was in then, was that, of all the projects that you could have chosen, naloxone, to a lot of the scientists working on it, seems like a very pragmatic drug. And the idea of linking that with emotion and something so universal and so unfathomable, yet completely recognisable at the same time. That was the thing, I think, that when you came to us with that idea, we were like, this is really good. Because you've brought in people, you've worked with them, you've directed them, you've been part of performance with them, or you've staged performances with them, films. And that, I think, has been really an interesting thing to watch, that the way that you collaborate, because we talk as academics about collaborating and we don't always do it in the way that we think we're doing it. So watching you do it has also been a really interesting process, I think.
Well, the actual piece involves conversations between myself and people with lived experiences of both unconditional love and heroin use. That is the piece. But it has provoked me, as it often does, inevitably, there are manifestations of that. I've made things based on what I've been thinking, which have been performance work or videos, or the use of stills from videos, sound pieces. I stumbled upon this idea of the lullaby as a metaphor for unconditional love, which gave me this kind of rich entry into sound. I was lucky enough to find people who could both enact or bring to the surface rage that they have felt personally, but also could sing a tender lullaby. And that's really, for me, worked as a way of kind of making this happen in my work, this emotion that's hard to conjure up through the stark reality of seeing the same person sing something so tenderly, but then have a level of rage that seems in complete contradiction. So it began with this woman playing the violin and singing a really beautiful lullaby. And I could see that people saw it as a classic performance where they were kind of being entertained. And then another woman started singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star from another place in the audience.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
And then people were smiling. It's like, oh, we're going to hear a lot of nursery rhyme, nice songs. But then her singing got really angry, and she really subverted and distorted the song.
How I wonder what you are. Up above the sky so bright, like a diamond.
I think there's a kind of way of working that a lot of artists are interested in, including me, which is to take us to places that we don't want to go to or we've never been to, and then see what happens. I don't steer away from work that involves risk, that involves feelings that are something that are challenging me, are challenging anyone else.